Ongelooflijk, hè? Zo groot. Zij is zo groot, hè, moet je zeggen bij het schip. Zo gigantisch indrukwekkend. Nou, dit is er nou. We zijn hier in Greenock, Schotland, in de haven, bij Her Majesty's Ship The Invincible. De onoverwinnelijke. Het grootste vliegdekschip van de Royal Navy.
Gaaf.
Ongelooflijk, hè?
Ja.
En wij gaan mee op oefening, Sjoerd.
Met die Harriers?
Met die Harriers, met die straaljager.
Gaaf.
Yes. Wat een schip. Nou, kom op. Oh, daar hebben we een officier, luitenant. En dan een pet in ieder geval. Die moeten we hebben. Presenting Willem Wever.
Good morning. Lieutenant Commander John Grays. Good morning.
Good morning.
On behalf of Captain McLean, welcome to HMS Invincible.
Thank you very much. We came all the way here to ask a question. That's Stuart's most important question.
I would like to know how a jet takes off and lands on a carrier.
Okay, if you'd like to come with me, we'll see if we can answer your questions. We've got a lot of flying tomorrow.
Great. Yes.
How many people work on this ship?
We have 1,200 people on this ship.
1,200, that many.
And what are their jobs?
Well, the good thing about this ship is that we've got a little bit of everybody. We've got pilots who fly the aircraft. We've got seamen who drive the ship. We've got engineers who make our engines work so that we can move. And then on top of that, we've got cooks to feed everybody. We've got supply people who provide us with all our bedding. We've got a laundry service, and we've even got doctors and dentists on board.
Incredible. Just like a small town.
It is. It's a small town all by itself. Okay, gentlemen. First thing we'd like to do is introduce you to the captain, Captain McLean.
Hello.
He can start the tour for you.
Well, it's my pleasure, and I hope you see everything you want to see.
Thank you.
And I'll have a little chat with you when you've seen all my jets flying, all right?
Okay.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you. Very nice to see you.
Yeah, okay.
Bye, sir. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Right. Afterwatch, Captain.
Afterwatch, sir.
Right, I'm happy now. You can come to port and land on the helicopter.
So the ship has 9 main decks. This is the 5th deck down from the flight deck, and this is actually the busiest deck on the ship. We have all of the main galleys off here, a lot of people workspaces off here, and just below us is a lot of accommodation. So lots of junior sailors live down here and work down this way all the time. Go off around this way. This is the ship's control centre. It's where the marine engineers work. There's 160 people in that department, and at any one time 10 people would work in here to monitor everything which goes on around the ship. They look after the engines, they look after the hot and cold water, they look after making fresh water. And on top of all that, they're responsible for the watertight integrity of the ship to make sure that we don't leak. And that's particularly important when you're in here because you're actually below the water in this room.
Below sea level.
Below sea level.
Oh, kitchen.
Okay guys, this is the main galley where we cook for the majority of the ship's company. I'm going to introduce you to Willie, who'll tell you all about the cooking that goes on here.
So,
potatoes. We use
That's-
1,600 pound of potatoes every day on board this ship.
but this must be enough for 1 year, I think.
No, just the one day. Just
One
the
day?
one day. Yeah, one day.
This is for 1 day.
And what else we do? In 11.5 days, we use enough sausages that if you put them end to end, they'd stretch for 1 kilometre. And if you put all the eggs and cheese together that we use in 16 days on board this ship, then it'd make an omelette, a cheese omelette that weighed 1 metric ton. All right, so that's how much we use in here. But that's not all we do. We've got the cooking area around the side here. We're cooking for 850 people in here in this little small area, and all these chefs, all trained chefs, and they cook for 850 people.
Hello.
3 times a day, 365 days a year.
Beetje roeren op. Kijk.
All right.
Steer it up.
Okay guys, let's go and have a look in the hospital. Tony's inside, he'll tell you all about it.
Even have a hospital here.
We have a hospital, yeah. We have a dentist, surgery and everything.
Ziekenhuis met een tandarts.
Yeah.
But this is the sick bay in HMS Invincible, almost like the hospital. You're in the actual main reception area. We've got 2 doctors on board. One is an anaesthetist and the other is a surgical officer, so we can carry out some surgery should we need to. There also is an 8-bedded ward, so if we have, say, 8 patients, then we can actually turn them in to our ward area. We've also got a small operating theatre.
What kind of operations do you do?
We can do just about anything. However, We don't necessarily do anything unless it's an absolute emergency.
Huh? John? A shop?
Yeah, this is a shop for all sailors. Everybody comes here. We've got snacks and we've got videos and video games and everything.
So this is one of the bedrooms, John?
Yeah, this is where the junior sailors will sleep. We've got 6 people who are in this small area here, so you can see it's not very personal. It's very compact. So they have to be very tidy. And these 2 sets of wardrobes here and here, they have to keep all of their clothes and their uniform in.
What do they do in their free time?
Well, because we're a ship at sea, we have to amuse ourselves. So we organise barbecues, we would organise discos on the flight deck that you saw earlier, and we would have cards evenings or horse racing evenings, and we can do all sorts of things. Well, we had a good day today.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, the big adventure with the Harriers.
Yes.
And we've got your cabin ready for you here for tonight. Breakfast's very early tomorrow at 7, but I hope you sleep well. And I'll see you in the morning.
Thanks for a lovely
Good
day.
night.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Good night.
Bye, John.
Bye-bye.
Hey, Sjoerd.
Ja.
Morgen grote dag, hè?
Ja.
Big day for you.
Yes.
Meanwhile, you at home can watch another great Willem Wever item and we get back tomorrow, okay?
Casper, kun je geen Nederlands meer praten?
Good night. Sleep tight.
En te rusten.
How do you like your eggs in the morning?
Yeah, the ship is now in NBC site 3.
Slaap je, jongen?
Ja.
Ja?
Ja, jij ook?
Ja, heerlijk. Een blok. Beetje gedroomd?
Ja, of straaljagers.
We dreamed about jets.
Doing about Harriers, yeah?
Yes.
You looking forward to today?
Yes.
Good.
So, you ready for the exercise, John?
We certainly are. It's
Yeah?
going to be a good display today.
What's the purpose of the exercise?
The purpose of it's a navigation training exercise. Our pilots train very regularly to make sure that they stay in date. Guys, this is Flyco. Let me introduce you to Commander Wood, and he can answer your basic questions about how we
good morning,
operate.
Casper. Good morning.
Our Sea Harriers from an aircraft carrier.
Great.
Right, what you see here is in effect the air traffic control tower, just the same as you see at an airfield on the land. The difference with our runway, which is only about 200 metres long, compared with perhaps many thousands of metres long on the land, is we can turn the whole runway so that the wind is coming down the deck. And that is very important for us because the jets need wind from ahead as they take off into the sky.
Okay, this is the hangar, and we can store our helicopters in here, and we can repair our Harriers. We've got up to 24 aeroplanes in total on the ship, but we can only keep 16 of them in here.
Are those bombs?
No, they're not bombs, they're mechanical spare parts. Our bombs are kept really low down in the ship.
Look, is that a Harrier?
It is, that's a Harrier. Let's see if we can find somebody to explain it for you.
Great.
This is Nick. Nick knows everything there is to know about Harriers.
Hi.
Nick, what's so special about the Harrier?
Well, the special thing about the Harrier is its ability to land and take off vertically, but it can also do it the same as a normal aircraft. And the secret to that is in the engine and the nozzles. So I'll show you now. Here are the nozzles, and we've got 4 of them. And what they do is they take the thrust from the engine, and by moving these nozzles, you can change the direction of the thrust. So, for instance, the nozzles are fully back, and you can see these markings here.
Yeah.
And these mean 0 degrees, and that's when they're fully back, and it flies like a normal aircraft. But we can actually move them all the way forward. So we can hover when they're right down here, or we can actually move them even further forward, so it can make us stop very quickly, or even fly backwards.
Oh.
So it's very good.
Yeah.
The other thing that helps us hover is this. On a normal aircraft, you need airflow over the wings to help you turn the aircraft. And that's why when we move the stick, we can actually move these. And these are the ailerons, and what they'll do is deflect the air and the aircraft will roll. But in the hover, there's no air flowing over them, so we need another way of making the jet controllable in the hover. And the way we do that is with these. And these are little exhaust ducts, and they take air from the engine in the hover, and they'll blow it out here and underneath at either side, and also at the nose and the tail, and they'll
basically, when you move the stick, make the aircraft roll just as it would normally in flight. So that's the secret of the Harrier.
Why are we wearing these?
It's to protect your ears. It's very noisy. And this is
what?
Exactly, very noisy.
Coming this way and getting up this way when it's gonna get up straight ahead.
Okay, it can do both, but if it takes off whilst it's moving, it uses less fuel, so it can fly for longer after it's taken off if it uses the ramp. And the ramp just gives it that little bit of extra height so that it's even more fuel efficient.
How fast is it going when it takes off?
Right, it starts off about where that helicopter is now, just a little bit behind there. And then I don't know how fast it's going, but if you were to follow it, it would just come through and it would go off like that. So it's going probably, I don't know, 50, 70, 100 miles an hour most, but it's very, very quick acceleration. By the time it gets there, it's powerful.
That's going real fast. And I can feel some stones and sand coming in my face.
That's why you gotta go.
Moet er nog een. Ongelooflijk druk die je voelt.
Dit is gaaf, joh. Ja.
Wat een kracht zit daar. Wat een power. Zo powerful.
How does a Harrier slow down its speed in the air?
Okay, what happens is when it's told to land, the Harrier flies up behind the ship and it's got nozzles behind the jet engine and lots of air coming out of those nozzles which are pushing the plane through the air. So what it does is it turns the nozzles so that they point down towards the sea.
Oh, we have seen that. We have seen beneden, weet je.
And then when it does that, all the air is posted downwards, and instead of pushing it forwards, it just holds it up in the air. So the Harrier comes in really slowly and moves along the deck until it gets in line with one of those numbers that's painted, and the ship tells it where to land. It moves it across the deck, and then it just cuts the power to the engines, and it falls down out of the ground. Got a special surprise for you. We've arranged a special show just for Willem Wever. Lots of Harriers and helicopters. Let's
flying.
We're flying. Let's go. Headphones on.
Nou, ik denk dat het Sjoerd antwoord op zijn vraag heeft. Hoe een jet opstijgt van een vliegdekschip. Of die opstijgt en hoe die landt. Poep. Klaar. Geweldig.
Okay, guys, this is the end of your trip. It's time to go.
That's a pity, but it's been a lovely 2 days. Great, great, great. What are we doing here then, Don?
Well, we've got one final surprise for you. We're going to fly you off in a helicopter, so we need to get dressed in some survival equipment.